wasn't the real source of the bridges policy Steven Joyce and Crosby texters Joe DeJoux? And why doesn't he just come clean with the people on this?
Where's the Minister responsibility?
Order. Honourable Steven Joyce. Honourable Steven Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, speaking on behalf of the Minister of Transport, I have spoken to my colleague, the Minister of Economic Development, who is also very enthusiastic about roading for economic development in Northland, Mr Speaker. He's very encouraging of the project that this Mr Osborne, candidate for Northland, has brought up, Mr Speaker. And the only thing that we can be sure about Mr Twyford's line of questioning, Mr Speaker, is that there is one party in this House that is in favour of developing the roading network in Northland, and it ain't the Labor Party, and it certainly isn't the New Zealand First Party.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Does he see anything wrong with a candidate proposing $70 million of taxpayer spending, the minister seeking only general advice from officials, in his words, approving them without seeing any cost-benefit analysis, and then the candidate announcing that spending to win him votes?
Honourable Steven Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Transport, that sounds like a lot more analysis than the Labor Party went through in 2005 over the interest on student loans, Mr Speaker.
Oh, supplementary. Order. 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 Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Which of these
Order.
Which of these best describes his bridges policy? Brazen, shameless, cynical and more than a little desperate, John Armstrong in the Herald. It sends a destructive message, but this is how things now roll under John Key, that was Matthew Hooton, that it amounts to corruption, Andrew Geddes, that it shows the government is highly biddable and, to be blunt, a bit weak, that was Rob Hosking in NBR, or the Herald editorial which said the bribe was insulting on so many levels.
Well,
Honourable Steven Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Transport, in response to that litany of armchair quarterbacks, Mr Speaker, I will make, including one of whom has subsequently apologised for his column, Mr Speaker, I would make the following comment.
Order.
Mr Speaker.
Order. Order. It was a long question. It deserves an answer, and I'm looking forward to it.
So 2 points, Mr Speaker. My colleague, the Minister of Economic Development, was in Northland yesterday, and the Northland people were very, very enthusiastic about these projects, Mr Speaker, wanted to know whether they could be built more quickly than 6 years, and wanted to know which ones would be done first, Mr Speaker. But also, Mr Speaker, this is a continuation of a program that this government has been running right around this country, Mr Speaker. If you want to talk about the Kopu Bridge in the Coromandel, Mr Speaker, or the Kurau Bridges in North Otago, or the Kawerau Bridges in Queenstown, Mr Speaker, or the Waiwakaio Bridge in New Plymouth, or the Normandy Bridge in Hawera, or the highway to Waikato, Mr Speaker, this government...
Order! Member, Minister will resume his seat. I've heard enough.